Old School Heart back with another review for Queen Sugar episode 5. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that looked at Queen Sugar episode 4 review. That review got over 100 views, and I know to you guys it's like, so what? But to me, it's a milestone. I haven't been on YouTube very long, and to get 100 views is just amazing. So if you haven't already had a chance to go ahead and look at episode 4 review, I also do a combined review of 1 through 3 episode of Queen Sugar. So go ahead and take a look at that as well. And if you love gospel music, go ahead and take a look at Tamla Mann's One Way CD review that I do, okay? So let's just get into Queen Sugar episode 5. So, y'all, I had the chance this weekend to look at the past episodes of Queen Sugar. And I just want to say it just renewed my love for this show. I just really love this show. But I was like, it's lacking one thing. And the one thing it is lacking is the theme or the intro just does not fit the show. Like, it doesn't capture you right at the beginning. It's like a slow rap song that you hear, and there's like some diamonds like falling to the ground or whatever. But to me, the show is more so about Ralph Angel, Charlie, and Nova working as a family to restore their father's farm. So to me, it seems more like something that revolves around Davis, and since he's like not the main character, I'm still a little bit lost as to why they chose that as a theme. Like, when I think of themes, like, I think of Power. Like, when I hear Power song, like in another room or in my apartment, or like as I pass somebody's house, I'm like, somebody watching Power. Like, it just captures you right away. Like, when I hear Orange is the New Black, and let me just tell y'all, like, I seen the Orange is the New Black song, like, even when it's not on. It's just so catchy. Like, and it fits the show. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters, Living Single. I mean, their intros or their theme songs like match the show. Like, even I think about Underground. Like, Underground has a theme song that fits their show. And what I love about it is, and I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but the further they progress to freedom, the song progresses. And so you hear the verse 1 when it first started, and I think it's moved on to about the chorus or about the verse 2. So that's interesting. So as high caliber of a show as Queen Sugar is, and Ava working on it and it being on the OWN network, I'm gonna need y'all to at least step up y'all theme song intro. Like, I need it to be a little bit better. And I know, like, to y'all, some of y'all like this, that's so petty, but I don't know. It's just something that I'm missing. That's the only bad critique I have about the show. Like, other than that, the show is cool, but y'all could give me a better one than that. Let me know what some of y'all favorite like theme songs are, or if I'm being petty, that's okay too. So let's just get into Queen Sugar episode 5. So episode 5 starts off with Nova's old witchcraft, New Orleans, whatever, ritual, where she's doing a ritual for Too Sweet, I guess his rehabilitation or his exit out of jail. So Too Sweet is a young man that she goes to see in jail in episode 2. And then he's also the little boy that she takes a picture of lying in the hospital bed, and then the whole news article is started or whatever. So her little boo thing, who's married, the white guy, comes over, and he lets her know, like, internal and fair affairs is doing a investigation on us. So, pretty much like, thank you, but no thank you. And so she's explaining to him that injustice is occurring with these young men. They're being charged like they're adults, even though they have a minor offense. And so basically she's not hearing it or whatever. And so he's just letting her know, like, pretty much you opened up a can of worms, which is what I said in episode 4. Like, she opened up a can of worms when she did that, because I work in the judicial system, and I have. And the one thing that I do know is that if somebody gets sent to a hospital, you're not allowed to go visit them. It's just not something that you're able to do. You're able to visit them during their visiting hours, but you just can't go to the hospital and do what you want. So basically, he snuck her into the hospital to see him, and he let her know what had occurred in the jail. And so now that this internal affairs has opened up, this is just going to open up a can of worms, because all roads are going to lead back to the two of them. Like, either his wife is gonna find out, or the investigation will turn out finding them. But in the next couple of episodes, I see her getting in trouble for this. And I will say it was noble what she did, but it just wasn't the smart move. And I see all three of them make mistakes. Ralph, Angel, Charlie, and Nova make different types of mistakes that you just know they don't intend to do harm or intend to do wrong. It's just not the best decision. Okay, and so let's get to Charlie, because we'll get into her not making a wise decision too. So Charlie's talking to her son and just asking him, is he ready for his interview, because he got kicked out of his old school for allegedly showing his penis. But what we find out is that his little girlfriend didn't have more than one person showing their penis, and it wasn't his or whatever. So she's just trying to prep him to get ready to start a new school, to interview for a new school or whatever. Meanwhile, this is where Charlie makes a dumb decision. She goes to the accuser's house, the accuser of the lady that is accusing Davis of raping her. And they have their own little exchange. And the lady's like, you don't know what it feels like to be raped, and you don't know Davis or whatever. And I'm like, Charlie means well, and I understand what she's trying to do by trying to sweep this under the rug, but that was like the wrong move. But anyway, she tells this girl, look, call me when you want to tell me how we can work this out and get this all taken care of, where this does not have to go any further. So I'll be looking for your call. Whatever you want, I'll try to see if I can get it for you. So she talks to the lawyer, and the lawyer is like, well, there is possibly a rape kit. And Davis is like OJ without a knife. So there's going to be a trial, because look at who he is. And Davis is going to be seen as OJ, and she's going to be seen as a helpless white woman, even though she was a prostitute. And so Charlie's like, no, she ain't even white. And the lady was like, don't matter. Like, she'll be white by the time the trial starts. And so Charlie just does not understand that this is way more serious than what she expected it to be, and that it will go to trial, and it will be something that will haunt them for quite a while. So meanwhile, she calls Ralph Angel, and this is where Ralph Angel makes his mistake, and he didn't mean any harm. Once again, they all don't mean any harm, but their intentions are good, but it just doesn't pan out that way. And so he forgets to tell her, or he doesn't want to tell her, that he blew $15,000 on some infected crop. And so she just asked him, like, why didn't you tell me that, you blew $15,000? And, he makes up some excuse or whatever. But what I love is that he already felt down, and he already knew that he had made the wrong mistake. And I'm glad that she didn't push it in his face that much. But she did take her butt back down to New Orleans, where she should have been in the first place, like Remy told her. So Aunt Vi is dealing with her own stuff. She has a new manager. The manager looks to be about 20 years old, and here he is coming with these changes or whatever. And, saying that they need to greet people and all this other stuff. And Aunt Violet's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm about to open up this diner. I ain't got time for you or whatever. It was kind of funny, because she kind of like checked him real quick and then went about her business. Meanwhile, Ralph Angel is just now receiving his first check, and it only had 32 hours on it. And I don't know about y'all, but I was thinking that the guy who gave him the infected crop was also the guy who tricked on him about his hours or whatever, because Ralph Angel left to go get the crop from who he was supposed to get it, but he didn't make it. Well, he didn't not make it, but he wasn't able to get it. So I was like, that dude tricked on him. But in reality, when he was going up there and he was like, you only gave me 32 and I worked 40, the guy was telling him like, hey, look, this is in exchange for you working here, because, you're a criminal, so you'll take what we give you pretty much. And I'm pretty sure that's illegal. But I guess Ralph Angel just is not going to do anything about it, because he has to do this to fulfill his requirements for probation, I believe. And so the guy who gave him the infected crops, he has a little beef with him and was like, look, you gave me the wrong stuff. And he was like, I ain't know, it is what it is, but I'm just letting you know, the way I do us, the only way to get them back is, to steal their goods, to steal their merchandise. So I'm like, please don't let Ralph Angel be a part of that, because it seems like every time he intends to do good, evil is always present. And for some odd reason, he always has to somehow take evil or do a little bit evil. And he's trying so hard. So I really didn't want it to come to that. Meanwhile, they go back to Unviolet. And Violet has just finished her shift at the diner, and two of her uh, old friends or high school friends or whoever were at the diner eating. So she sits down with them, and they're like, "Ooh, Violet, you glowing?" And they're like, "That's because she got Hollywood." So they talk about him a little bit. And then her friend from out of town is like, "Well, look at us. I'm a VP. You're a lawyer." And Violet has her own diner, her own business. And so they all looking like, "Nah, that's not the case," or whatever. Um, and so she's about to tell her, like, I don't run this. And here comes this little 20-year-old little manager, like, "Violet, I need you to work another hour." And Violet's like, "It's slow. Y'all don't need me. Well, I need you to work it." And so Violet gets up and goes, like, "Get out of my face. Like, dude, you doing too much." And so she excuses herself because it's kind of embarrassing because, I'm pretty sure Violet's like, "Man, I don't want to be here. It just was a little too much." And like, I would have cussed his butt all the way out. I'm off. So I dag sure would have cussed him out. And so she goes to the bathroom and she talks to Hollywood. And I guess Hollywood kind of calms her down and just says, "I love you. I miss you, all the cute stuff." And I just love me some Hollywood. So then you see Hollywood at a hospital, at a psychiatric ward. And the lady is saying she had his estranged wife had another bipolar episode, and that in order for her to leave, you have to sign her out. So I guess that's Hollywood's Achilles heel. He is technically still married. And so that like broke my heart a little bit. But I know Hollywood, and I know he is a stand-up guy. So I knew that there was more to the story. Meanwhile, all three of the ladies get together. And this scene is so cute to me. Aunt Violet, Charlie, and Nova get together. And I love that Charlie acknowledges that Nova is a good writer and that she's proud of her. And they all sit there and they smoking weed. And the funniest part to me is Aunt Violet starts telling them how good Hollywood strokes. And I was like, yes. Tell them, girl. And they was all looking like, auntie, yuck. Which I would do the same thing. But I thought that was cute or whatever. So you also see Charlie hook back up with Remy, and Remy's explaining everything in regards to the farm, how the dad kept it up in a good enough shape where they can actually do a lot with it. So he brings in this older guy that was a friend of their father's too to be the farm manager, and he not feeling it from the get-go, but because he likes Remy, he goes ahead and does it. So that was cute or whatever. Then we get to the reason why Hollywood is with his estranged wife. She has bipolar depression, and it's played by Erica Alexander. Max from Living Single, Ride the Maverick. That's all I think about when I think about Ride the Maverick. So she just explains to him like that he is her soulmate and that she works well when they're together. And what he explains to her is that they only made, they're not divorced because she needs the medical insurance, and that's all that it is, and that they agree that if he did that for her, she would let him go. And he was just explaining to her that he has a new life and a new woman. So I know my mother was like, "See, Hollywood ain't no good," but he really is, because what he's just doing is taking care of her. Should he be hiding this? No. Will it come back to bite him in the butt? Probably so. Meanwhile, Charlie needs a tractor because their dad's tractor was taken away for non-payment. So Ralph Angel and Aunt Violet meet Remy and the farm manager for an auction, and that's where you see the white guy who wanted their land to begin with. And he's been a little bit snippy and shady to them. He's like, there's not a lot of black people here. So Charlie is already on defense, and she's a perfectionist, and She has that city life mentality. Like, you go after me, I'm going after you. That's how we do. So Charlie sees this as a challenge. Sees this as a challenge. And instead of listening to Ralph Angel and Unviolet and just getting the tractor that her father had on the land anyway, this sucker decides that she wants to go head to toe with this white guy, and he basically set her up. So she ended up buying a $250,000 tractor, which was way over her budget. And so Remy, Aunt Violet, and Ralph Angel was looking at her like she had lost her mind, and the farm manager is just looking at her like, "You little fool! I can't deal with people like you. You got too much sense, too much book education, and not enough common sense, like they always say." So anyway, in the meantime, her son is back living with Davis, and Davis is trying to spend time with him, but he really not feeling him, and I understand why. Why would you? So, he asked him about school or whatever. He said, well, they kept asking me about basketball. And he just pretty much told his daddy, I'm not playing basketball anymore. And it kind of reminded me of Love and Basketball when Q decided that he was just going to go to the NBA, even though his dad was like wanting him to have the education. I feel like this is in defiance to, Davis doing what he did. So anyway, he has a talk with his mom, and he's like, look, I just want to come be with you or whatever. He asked for a tutor at first, and she was like, no, we're not going to do that. You need to be around people. So he was like, well, only thing that I can think of is just to come where you are and go to school. And so she was like, you really want to do that? And so it seems like now they're just going to make their transition to New Orleans. Meanwhile, Aunt Violet is still working. And this little teenage little boy that's in charge of them is just questioning her a little too much. So Aunt Violet does what she should have did to begin with, which is quit. And I love that she quit, because I think it means that she's going to start including herself in the business as well and helping run the farm. And eventually, I think they'll all end up running the farm, because Nova's going to mess up her little writing career. Please believe. I think it's coming. But anyway, Nova actually has an argument with her little boo thing, and he just tells her, like, even though you wrote this article, you're a hypocrite because you sell drugs. Like, she's like, it's just marijuana, but he was like, but you still a hypocrite. You sitting here talking about all of this stuff and justice for all, yet you part of it yourself. And so she was like, look, leave your key, don't come back. Which, hey, some people don't like hearing the truth, but he was right, And I guarantee you that boy was selling her drugs, and that's why he in jail now getting his butt beat. So we see at the end that Remy saves the day and is able to get her father's tractor back. And the farm manager quits. And Remy is just amazing. Like, Remy's just amazing. And I just love him. And he is really working his butt off to assist Charlie, and I think it's more so because he loves her too, and because he knows she needs the help, and then to honor her father. Meanwhile, Criss Angel thinks this is the best idea. Ralph Angel is stealing from his job. God, Ralph Angel is stealing from his job. So we'll see what happens with that. And then at the end of the show, you see the girl call and say, I want $3 million. And I want to sit down with Davis. And so that's the agreement. So who knows if Charlie will take it. She said okay, but I just feel like the intentions are well, but it's just not the right thing to do. I get that they have the right intentions, but all three of them just make a bad choice. So on episode 6, we'll see what happens with that. I think Nova's story will start to unfold it even more. I don't know if that boy will be pleased about knowing that he was in the paper. I think that'll make trouble for him in jail. And Ralph Angel better watch himself, because clearly, he's stealing, and they're going to find out some way or another. So we'll see in the next couple of episodes. Please be sure to like and comment and subscribe. And thank you for taking out the time to watch this video on Queen Sugar episode 5. Have a good day.